we are calling our JavaScript library and here, and then we calculate our button that I already show you the buttons, and then footer and footer part, and this is the map definition is done. So next, we will try to, so all implementation is done. So that means controller, model definitions, service definition, repository definition, service implementations, and then our view part. So this is on model view controller part. Even though we already defined, we will show you how our internalization works in the localization internalization, and the necessary information you can store here, and you have the static part and CSS and image, and even though you in respect to JavaScript file, you can divide it this information and then call it into the your HTML pages, and this the informations. And this is your all the standard Spring Boot structure like template has all the resource information, and this is the information that I will discuss later. How when you have the Spring Boot profiling, that means when externally how to configure it, and that's the next thing that you will try to put it there, and then I will show you how is it done, the server side developments, and here the client side some development. I already did the client side unit test with the Spring Boot testing. So let's see how it works. All right. Oh, so terrible today. Oh no. Oops. So testing. Let's have a start to test it. So this is the test package that everybody knows that the default standard testing. So we did some dummy test in the unit test, JUnit test. You see it's the annotation of the Spring Boot test with the JUnit, and this is the part of the geometry. We try to store the geometry into the backend server, and we set our necessary coordinates points and add to the string into the coordinates points and iterate through the of the reference. This is the dummy example how you did the unit test, the JUnit test. So here the example for the geometry info stored informations, and then so on so forth. Exactly the same example. Here is the some dummy, this dummy application. This is our plot, the server side. So plot has, you can, this is the test. I already like to play a little bit more because I try to store the points and the line, multi polygon, multi lines, and then that's the coordinates points, and then we did it our coordinate definitions. We set our list of objects, the info object and geometry object, set it to the geometry, and then all the plot informations in the server side. That's exactly you did in the HTML form, in the web application. But in the JUnit form, before for my case in the professional life, we did every day. We tried to beat it every 100% test coverage. So we did our completely server-side test. If it's the server-side, all functionalities works into your service implementation, and then we try to implement our controllers, and then we implement the view part. That means your client side, the server-side testing is covered lot, cover things, everything works, and after when your front end or the back end, the web development is done, then you will do the you test again into the Selenium or any functional test tools. I will do both sides. That's the one of the example that I will show you is how it works in server side unit test. So we did all the necessary input because the plot has the geometry to need to be stored, and the plot the own information we set it here, the plot central points, and then its height, and no, it's a total. Okay, it's the mean sea level, total how the mean sea level is located, and how many buildings is located, total ground, total area, building covers area, address information, so on and so forth, and add it to the geometry information to the case, and then run the test cases, and then so on and so forth. So you see that exactly we did the controller service implementation, which we did our checks. Is our server side implementation is works. So we did all the test coverages that we needed to hear. But this case, I did one really short example how the server side test works and how we can do the all part of the testing part. So it's a more important. You know, the big companies, they have all this, you need the testing team or testing department. So that means they will do the unit server side test, the client side test, all the unit test or functional test or load test, all things they are doing. For this case, I will show you how is the in professional day they works or we works together, the tester and the developer. And that's it. Let's continue our the Spring Boot profiling, configuring our application to deploy the application to the client machines and then run all the tests that I already implemented here and all the tests into the Selenium or any browser. So first we need to build this application as a jar applications, a standard jar application, and this jar has to be installed any part of the world, any part of the any machine in the world. And we need to install our backend server, the database server, onto the client machines. I will show you how we need to, because this is the information we need to discuss and we need to clearly understand and we need to define how can we define it. Let's see the next screencast. I will show you detail and testing and deployment and configuration. That means the DevOps, we need to follow up this one. Thank you.